So why are we doing this? So as you know, ARC conducts a lot of research about a lot of topics that are important, and you may have heard lots of discussion about open automation and technologies and emerging practices, but we really feel as though organization, alignment, and transformation and organizational design is are some of the things that are really important as you're thinking about implementing technologies in your business. So I've got this little picture of a bridge because sometimes when we talk to our clients and customers, they give us they paint a picture like the IT side doesn't understand the automation engineering side or the operational technology side of the business. So really, the purpose of this session is really to help you folks really better understand what others are doing in industry and start a dialogue about making traction with your organizations. So what we're going to talk about first is I'm just going to set the stage. I'm going to preface this organizational IT/OT thing with some of the other complications that we see in industry. Then we're going to have somebody, Carrie Schaller from the Dow Chemical Company, is going to talk about the organizational design journeys and best practices and learnings, and she's going to share a little bit about that message. We're going to recap a little bit about some work that we did at the Orlando Forum last year. So we started a series on IT/OT organizational design last year. We've produced some papers and other projects and models to help you move forward. We're going to talk about a maturity model, a work in progress that's underway right now, and then we're going to have a discussion with some of the industry leaders and hopefully you'll feel engaged to participate in that. So common questions that we see: how do my peers align? Does IT report to does automation report as an island and report up through the operating teams? Does IT and OT, do they have any relationship at all? Is it different when you go from the hybrid industries, the discrete industries versus the continuous process and the batch organizations? So many people really want to understand not just about how others are organizing, but they want to understand how it relates to a specific industry. The other thing that is, we've learned that organizational design is not as simple as switching the boxes on an organizational chart and doing things in a vacuum, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution for organizational design. So many customers will ask us, well, how do I justify the effort, right? So are there any standards that I can use? How does corporate governance play a role in all of this? And how do I make my organization more agile so I can implement more solutions and deliver more business value to my organization? So these are common questions, and these are the sorts of things that we want to explore with the industry presentations and the following panelist discussion. This is a manufacturing organization's technology evolution model that we use in some of our research. And basically, if you look at the far left-hand side, you think about technology deployed, what it looked like in 1960 to 70, how that progressed through the 80s with the distributed control systems and in the different languages that are available back then, and then on to even in the future with virtual server and Internet of Things, in-memory computing. The technology is changing, so which comes first? Does the technology go first or does the organization go first? So we've seen the skills change drastically, and from an automation and plant perspective, we started back in the 60s where it was very simple. All the controllers were mounted on a board. Sometimes they were electronic or they were pneumatic. And as the technology changed, there's been more and more Windows infused into these systems. So nowadays, many of these systems require deep IT skills. So we know that skills have evolved quite a bit over time. When things were simple, you could deploy a resource at site and not worry too much. But nowadays, especially with globalization and other factors, we see global service providers and main automation contractors being a very important part of a future support model. The application of the technology down at the very bottom, we see that what is consistent is that the requirement for technical organizations to have deeper and deeper knowledge of either a discrete process or a continuous process is consistent. So the expectation from the operator is that individuals that are part of some technical organization, they're really expected to understand how it applies to their particular industry. So there's external forces, and some of these things that you probably heard many times over the past day about open automation systems and Internet of Things and connecting systems to the cloud and cybersecurity events that are taking place. So there's a lot of things that are causing companies to reshape their organization and look at an organizational design. New workers have got new expectations entering the workforce in terms of hours and the technology that they use, plus not to mention the talent that's leaving your companies because of people retiring. So why is this important? So if you're a supplier to a manufacturing organization, the person that you sell to in the future may change. So if you're an end user, the convergence of the technologies that you're currently supporting or thinking of supporting may also change. So common questions around how do we secure manufacturing data, how do we justify it, how do we decide on organizational structure. So that's really the purpose of this main session. So we know that there are confusion of roles, insourcing and outsourcing, these are all common problems. Just a little bit of a recap, and Mike Williams, our second speaker, is going to come up and talk a little bit about this. But last year, in this room at the Orlando Forum, we held a workshop focusing on how to design an organization, and we introduced some attributes that you might not have been familiar with. So we really looked at asking, I think there was about 40 participants, and I've listed some of the companies that participated last year in this workshop. We had folks from industry do the facilitation, and it was really a good data gathering exercise to help us build maturity models. So some of the things that Mike's going to talk about are things about the activities of automation in IT, like what are they across different industries, how do you differentiate effectiveness versus efficiency, what capabilities, the purposes and goals. So these are things that we did last year, but we thought this year it would be more important that we actually bring industry speakers forward. So here's the people that I'm going to introduce next. So Carrie Schowler is the Dow IT/OT Organizational Design Specialist. So she's going to talk about her progress and experience. Mike Williams is a consultant, and Mike works with us, and he's going to talk about the design and the theory of how you can actually get progress. And then we're going to have a panel discussion, and we're going to invite Mark Davison from Delek US Refining, and he's going to give perspective from the CIO office. And then finally, Raghu Naran from Aramco Services organization. He's going to talk about his perspectives from engineering and working in other industries.